Now that you are in a deep trance, we are going to make a change to you, or reinforce the change if it has already been made. The change is that when you use the activation phrase Activate add-on for Anthro Scolipede TF, the effects that are about to be described will become active. Additionally, the effects that are about to be described will become inactive when you use the deactivation phrase Deactivate add-on for Anthro Scolipede TF. Now the effects will be described. When you try to fall asleep with the effects of the trigger phrase I am an Anthro Scolipede or you are an Anthro Scolipede active, you will instantly fall asleep when you try to and then immediately start to dream. In these dreams you will be a normal Scolipede instead of an Anthro one. Also, the world that you experience in these dreams will be consistent, ensuring that no time passes and that nothing changes within it between when you wake up and when you next go to sleep. Also, when you do eventually wake up you will remember your time in the dream world fully, and find that the thought of it always makes you happy because being in it is always a pleasant experience overall, and that not being in it never causes you to feel any negative emotions. The first time that you enter this dream world it will be mid-afternoon and you will have just started the short walk back to your tribe's camp, having just driven off a superior that had ventured too far into the tribe's territory. Being the largest and oldest tribe in the forest, it's not uncommon for Pokémon to accidentally wander into the tribe's territory, so you were surprised when the Scolipede that leads the tribe decided to oversee your post today. They are much older and bigger than you are, but you've never found their presence to make you feel inferior. You are talking to the tribe's leader about a way to improve the camp's defenses, and during a break in the conversation they mention that they will soon be passing on the role of being the tribe's leader since they are starting to become too old to keep the tribe going. They then tell you that they've been thinking that you would be a perfect leader for the tribe, and the determination, strength, and skill that you showed in driving off the superior has only made them more sure of this. What you hear leaves you completely shocked and you have to stop for a few seconds to properly process what your leader just said to you. They are the leader of the tribe and you had looked up to them even before they became the tribe's leader. Seeing the shock on your face, they tell you that it's not actually that hard to be the tribe's leader before urging you to get moving before it gets dark. You arrive at the tribe's camp just as the sun starts to turn the sky orange. The camp is in a massive open field and contains huts that serve as the homes for the members of the tribe. They are made of sticks, leaves, branches, stones, rocks, and whatever other materials are easily accessible. You think about how the camp has been your home for your entire life as you watch some Venipedes and Whirlipedes, as well as a few other Pokémon, playing together in the afternoon light. You also notice some Scolipedes and some of the older Whirlipedes helping out the other tribe members as you start to reminisce about when you were a Whirlipede. Your reminiscing is interrupted by the tribe's leader asking you to follow them home and you start to follow them into the camp. Once you get to the leader's home they invite you in, starting to tell you the duties of leading a tribe as great as their own once you are inside. Curious as to why they are telling you this, you ask them why, and they tell you that in a few hours they are going to make you the tribe's leader, so they are telling you some things that will help you become just as great, nay, an even better leader than them. That is, if you are willing to accept such a role. Shock, amazement, excitement, anxiety, and pride all mix together as in a stuttering voice you tell them that you would be honored to become the tribe's leader. You, the leader of the tribe? You never thought that this day would come. Sure, you are the oldest Scolipede in the tribe aside from the current leader, but you always assumed that a younger Scolipede would be given the role. Noticing how overwhelmed you seem, the leader reassures you once more that the responsibilities of being a leader aren't that demanding. Sure, there might be a day or two when you have to defend from invaders, but aside from that it isn't that hard, and even if the tribe was being invaded you are more than capable of defending it on your own from any threat that you are likely to face, and with the tribe's warriors backing you up there is nothing that you can't take down. The look on your face makes it clear that you are feeling better, and just to make sure that you fully calm down the leader reminds you that being the oldest tribe in this whole forest, we don't have many enemies. Then, they say, if you need me to explain anything that I already have or that I am about to explain to you again, you are free to ask me things as many times as you like until you fully understand everything. They proceed to tell you the duties of being the leader of a tribe, explaining that those duties include, but are not limited to, helping your tribe members as well as any non-tribe members that are staying in your camp, making sure that the guard and soldier Scolipedes are properly equipped to defend the tribe, as well as assigning them to do things like defend something or scout out another tribe, making sure that everyone is alright after an attack ends, meeting with other tribes if they require your presence, and making sure that the Pokemon in the camp don't get into fights with each other. Once they are done telling you everything, they ask you if you have any questions, and once all of your questions have been answered, the leader tells you that you are free to ask them anything until the passing of leadership, which is in about an hour. Once the ceremony starts, you will not be allowed to ask them any questions until the role of leader has been passed on, and should you decline it, they will have no choice but to choose someone else. You spend the next hour or so doing as you see fit. By now the setting sun has turned the sky a vibrant shade of orange and the clouds a most vivid shade of hot pink, all while reducing the trees at the edges of the into nothing more than black silhouettes. You can barely contain your excitement as you rush to the camp's square, having just been told that the passing of leadership will begin in a few minutes. The square is fairly large and is located in the middle of the camp, serving as both a place for official meetings and social gatherings. In the middle of the square is a large stone that is many times bigger than you are, but it's just short enough for Scolipedes to easily walk onto it. The ceremony begins just as you arrive and you see the leader step on top of the rock in the square's center. Once they are on it, they start to deliver a magnificent speech about how they are starting to reach the age where they can no longer be an effective leader, and excited whispers go through the gathered crowd as they announce that they will be passing on the role of leader tonight. They pause briefly, proceeding to announce that they have already chosen you to be the tribe's new leader as they tell of your great strength and spirit. They then speak of how you valiantly helped defend the tribe from an attacker earlier today, a wild Pokemon that got too close to the tribe. Having said all of this, they gesture for you to come up onto the rock. You do as your leader wishes, and once you are there, they use one of their claws on the rock to draw half of the purple symbol that adorns the sides of your body. This symbol is also the mark of what will soon be your tribe. Once they finish drawing half of it, they say that once you have finished the mark of the tribe, you will become the leader of the tribe. They then ask you if you are ready, and you willingly, albeit hesitantly, say yes. Once you do, they give you their final command as your leader and tell you to finish the mark. Using one of your claws, you draw the second half of the symbol and the former leader says, "I now pronounce you the leader of our tribe." And with that, cheering rings out from the crowd, but it is quickly silenced as the former leader gets everyone's attention, asking that they be referred to as elder from now on, and you and your tribe agree to do it. After this, you and the elder walk off of the rock as a night of celebration and festivities begins. After having celebrated for a while, it gets really dark, and everyone heads home for a good night's sleep. As you head home, you reflect on how this tribe raised you, how you guarded it with your life, and how you now lead it, and you couldn't be any prouder. On your way home, you cross paths with the elder, and they stop you and tell you that they forgot to tell you a bunch of stuff earlier, proceeding to tell you that you can talk to them whenever you want if you need any advice or assistance at any time. They also say that when meeting with other tribes, it is important to keep in mind that they are smaller than your own, so Pokemon from other tribes might feel intimidated by you and your tribe. They continue on to remind you that while wars are very uncommon, your actions when you visit other tribes will strongly influence whether or not war is declared on your tribe, and should war be declared on your tribe, it is your duty to defend it. They continue on to explain that while meeting other tribes, you will be required to answer any questions that they ask. They then tell you that they will be able to go with you to other tribes as a sort of advisor, and that you are not allowed to leave the tribe unless it is absolutely necessary when there is a meeting coming up in the next 3 days. They wrap things up by reminding you that while most of the tribes are run by Pokemon, some of them are run by humans, for instance the one that is in the giant castle that can be seen from anywhere in the forest. They then apologize for having forgotten to tell you all of this before you became the tribe's leader, embarrassment mixed with a bit of shame evident in their voice. After they tell you all of this, you thank them for telling you and tell them that it's fine that they forgot and that it doesn't make you any less happy about being the tribe's leader. You then tell them that you are really worn out from everything that has happened today, so you will need most of it re-explained tomorrow. They tell you that they understand and that it's perfectly fine, so you resume your walk home. Once you get home, you have no trouble falling asleep as you think about the wonderful future that is in store for you. Once you have fallen asleep in the dream world, anything can happen and you will be able to do pretty much whatever you want, but there are some limitations that you won't consciously be aware of, but that will subconsciously guide your actions. They are that you will be unable to neglect your duties as the tribe's leader, and that you will be unable to intentionally bring harm to your tribe by doing things like declaring war unless you think that it is absolutely essential for the future well-being of your tribe. Now, know that the effects of this hypnosis file will become inactive if they are a risk to your physical body or your well-being, if they are a risk to your social or professional life, if there is an emergency that they would prevent you from dealing with to the best of your abilities, or if they are a risk to your mental health. Also, any effect of this hypnosis file that was an issue will become active again once it no longer will be one. Additionally, you will never find this hypnosis file or the effects of it even slightly addicting. Now you have the ability to enter this amazing dream world, and can lead your own tribe because of it. I wonder how the tribe will fare under your leadership. This session is almost over, so goodbye my friend. I know that you'll be a good leader.